Before Barack Obama made history as the first black president of the United States, a trail of groundbreaking African American politicians paved the way. These individuals, driven by ambition and determination, shattered barriers, pursued justice, and fought for the betterment of their communities. Today, we take a closer look at some of the most notable black politicians who dared to envision a more inclusive America and left a lasting legacy in their pursuit of the White House. Let's dive in. Number 1. J.C. Jackson. J.C. Jackson, born in 1941 in South Carolina, demonstrated leadership early on as a college quarterback and student body president. Graduating with a sociology degree from North Carolina Agricultural and Technical College, Jackson initially pursued seminary studies in Chicago. However, his involvement in the civil rights movement in 1965 shifted his path entirely. Working alongside Martin Luther King Jr., Jackson devoted himself to the Southern Christian Leadership Conference (SCLC) and spearheaded Operation Breadbasket, a campaign to pressure businesses into adopting fair hiring practices for Black Americans. In 1972, Jackson founded the Rainbow Push Coalition to address civil rights and social justice issues. His influence soared when he ran for the Democratic presidential nomination in 1984. Despite criticism for controversial remarks and coming third in the primaries, Jackson left an indelible mark. He garnered nearly 7 million primary votes during his 1988 campaign, further solidifying his role as a transformative figure in American politics. Number 2. Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton, a native of Brooklyn, New York, is an emblem of the intersection between politics and celebrity. As a teenager, Sharpton was already active in the civil rights movement, eventually becoming the youth director for Shirley Chisholm's presidential campaign in 1972. Sharpton later combined activism with entertainment, serving as James Brown's tour manager. His political prominence grew in the 1980s, often surrounded by controversy. Despite his polarizing reputation, Sharpton launched a 2004 presidential campaign as a Democrat, aiming to amplify his voice as a black leader. While his campaign lacked a robust infrastructure, Sharpton's political instincts and fiery rhetoric earned him significant attention. Although he eventually withdrew and endorsed Senator John Kerry, Sharpton's run reinforced his position as a prominent voice in the fight for racial equality. Number 3. Frederick Douglass. Born into slavery in 1818 in Maryland, Frederick Douglass escaped to freedom at age 20, becoming one of the 19th century's most influential civil rights leaders. Despite limited access to education, Douglass mastered reading and writing, emerging as a powerful orator, abolitionist, and advocate for women's rights. Douglass was nominated for president twice, first by the National Liberty Party in 1848 and later by the Republican Party in 1888, receiving one delegate vote. In 1872, he also made history as the first African American nominated for vice president, running alongside Victoria Woodhull under the Equal Rights Party. Although his bids were largely symbolic, Douglass' political endeavors highlighted the aspirations of African Americans during his era and laid the groundwork for future progress. Number 4. Shirley Chisholm. Born in Brooklyn, New York in 1924, Shirley Chisholm broke barriers throughout her life. A skilled debater and advocate, she earned a master's degree in education from Columbia University and became involved in politics to champion child welfare and education. In 1968, Chisholm became the first black woman elected to Congress, representing New York's 12th district for 7 terms. Her campaign slogan, "Unbought and Unbossed," exemplified her independent spirit. In 1972, Chisholm made history again as the first African American to seek a major party's presidential nomination. While she faced resistance from many, including black men, Chisholm's candidacy challenged societal norms and inspired a new generation of leaders. She secured 152 delegates at the Democratic National Convention, reshaping perceptions of who could aspire to the presidency. Number 5. Lenora Fulani. Lenora Fulani, born in 1950 in Pennsylvania, earned her doctorate in developmental psychology and was deeply involved in black nationalist politics. She made history in 1988 as the first African American and female independent candidate to qualify for the presidential ballot in all 50 states. Running under the New Alliance Party, Fulani gained 0.2% of the vote, setting a record for a woman candidate until 2012. Fulani's candidacy in 1992 further emphasized her commitment to independent politics and marginalized communities. Her autobiography, The Making of a Fringe Candidate in 1992, detailed her experiences and insights into the political landscape. Number 6. Herman Cain. Herman Cain, born in 1945 in Tunisia, excelled in the corporate world before entering politics. A Morehouse College graduate with a master's degree in computer science, Cain rose to prominence as CEO of Godfather's Pizza. His success in business laid the foundation for his entry into politics, serving as an economic advisor for Bob Dole's 1995 presidential campaign. Cain ran for the Republican presidential nomination in 2011, promoting his 999 tax plan. Despite his initial rise in the polls, allegations of sexual misconduct led to a sharp decline in support. Cain withdrew from the race but left a lasting impression of Republican politics. Number 7. Ben Carson. Ben Carson, born in Detroit in 1951, overcame poverty to become a renowned pediatric neurosurgeon, symbolizing the American dream. His 1990 memoir and subsequent television adaptation elevated his public profile. Carson entered politics in 2015 as a Republican presidential candidate, inspired by moral conviction. While his campaign faltered due to foreign policy missteps and controversy surrounding his memoir, Carson remained influential. After withdrawing from the race, he endorsed Donald Trump and later served as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, continuing to shape national policies. These visionary leaders dared to dream big, breaking barriers and reshaping the political landscape for generations to come. Their stories remind us of the resilience, determination, and courage it takes to pursue equality and justice. Let us honor their legacies and continue to push for a more inclusive future. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe